So I need to correct myself. These are $1 stamps, not $2 stamps. It says it right there, dollar. Okay, so dollar stamps, $2 stamps, $5 stamps. Okay, so you don't have to buy the whole sheet. You can buy one or whatever. They do cost $5 per stamp. So this obviously costs $20 for the sheet of 4. And then here's $10 stamps. And then here you have 10 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent. And these are 2 cents, but these are also 2 cents. And the reason why these were better is because you're able to write on them, over them clearly when you do your autograph. Sorry, my phone. There you go. My phone doesn't work very well. Anyways, so when you write on them to be the postmaster, the pen is able to see clearly, to where when it's dark like this, you have to use like a gold pen. Okay, so anywho, let's do this. So according to the Stamp Act of 1863, you use the amount of stamps, because this is by cent, right, according to what the agreement is. So like bank, for the banking, because you do put stamps on your quote unquote bill statements as well. There's not just for documents, affidavits, and court stuff. You also use stamps for anything that you owe, that you don't owe. You don't owe nothing. Let me correct that. Anything to settle a debt, basically. This is actually how we're supposed to pay our bills, is by stamps. So as you can see, when it exceeds $1,500 and not exceeding $2,500, you use a $1 stamp. See, so it's according to what the amount is on the document. Like, let's say this one, above $150 and not above $250, 5 cents. So you'd use 5 cents on your document. And then according to the Universal Postal Union, it shows you where to put the document. Let me see if I can actually find it. Sorry. So according to this, right, it tells you where to put the document and how to put it and what colors to use. So basically you would put, the stamp right there, and then you would write across the stamp and put the thumbprint, red thumbprint here. You would put one here, your thumbprint in blue here, a thumbprint in blue here, and then a red thumbprint here. And the reason why you put a red or blue thumbprint here is because this is your seal, right, of the family, whatever your last name is. It's your great seal. This seal right here establishes you the postmaster over the document, and the red seal establishes the living. Okay, so the Universal Postal Union shows you where, excuse me, I just woke up and I haven't cleared my throat. Apologies. So anyways, the Universal Postal Union, and you can PDF this document. You can just Google it and it will pop up. So, putting the pieces together is what's really important. And it does say, do not use the red thumbprint seal if you are in a de jure country. Okay, we are not de jure in the United States. De jure is like a tribe, a nation on its own. Yeah, we're not a nation, we're a corporation. So we use the red thumbprint. Okay, but this really tells you when to use gold, when to use red, not red, blue, and purple. So if you have anything, you should at least have those 3 colors, those 3 colors at all times, which is blue, purple, and gold. And then black is how they communicate, because in their world, contract world, black means dead. Okay, but we're not dead. We don't use black. We use color ink. Okay, so there's a difference. So I want to thank those that that said, that's a $1 stamp. Yeah, y'all right. You're right. You're right. My bad. It's a $1 stamp. These are $1 stamps. Okay, there's a big difference between this $1 stamp and a 1-cent stamp. Okay, so thank you for the heads up for my error. I appreciate it, because I don't want to give bad information. So this would be an example that if you're disputing a debt and then you received in the mail, it says gold letters, your social security number without dashes, the stamp with the autograph. The stamp with the autograph is the way I showed you on the other page. Let me see. Which would be right here. And this is how you do your autograph. Okay, you're going to do it just like this. Lowercase letter, nothing capital, okay, of the family, whatever. Right here. Well, that's your great sale. I'm sorry. This is your autograph. First name, and then you'd put a dash, and then that would be your middle name, semicolon, and that's a separation between your first and your last. Okay, no capital letters. Okay, take note of that. There are no capital letters in this. Yes, there are things in syntax grammar that they use the first letter of the last name and first name, making it capital. But again, I'm learning we don't do that. U.S. stamps, and we suggest using the 2-cent stamps as that the last authorized stamp under the de jure United States of America. So there's a reason for me buying 3,000 2-cent stamps that cost $60 that you get from the post office. And all you got to do is go to United States Postal Service, USPS dot whatever it is, com or .org or whatever, and order the stamps. Because if you try to order that or go to the regular post office, yeah, you're wasting your gas and your time. So anywho, just wanted to correct myself and thank those for putting it out there that, yeah, I was completely in error with that. So, oh, and make sure you write down this code. Write down this code. Write this thing down, because this is what you're going to write on your bills. Because when you understand that the post office or the UPU is above the quote unquote legal system, because the UPU is the overlord or the landlord of all contracts, and everything in this quote unquote world that we live in is contracts. So it doesn't matter what kind of corporation they're in, they have to abide by the UPU. So when they don't, and we use the UPU and mail our documents through the post office, we have the power to call up the UPU in our defense when they violate the contract. Okay. Okay. Y'all have a great day.
TikTok, I'm gonna give y'all a free game right now. Seriously, listen. Alright. If you ever been incarcerated before, or ever had any type of bond that was attached to your name, regardless of what it was, traffic ticket, state charge, federal charge, misdemeanor charge, doesn't matter. I need you to do me a favor and do this right here. I need everybody to go to this website right here, USTreasuryDirect.gov. Okay? When you get there, I want you to do this. Scroll all the way to the bottom, or near the bottom when you see something that says Savings Bond Calculator. I want you to see that. I want you to tap on it so you can see what's going on with it. And when you tap this, I need y'all to look at it and make sure it says EE bonds, which is a paper bond, not an electronic bond. And when you get to it, it should say 50 denominations. Here is somewhat of an example of what I mean. It says EE, that's a series of the bond, and denominations, I think you say it should say 50. Now, before you even start using the Savings Bond Calculator, I need you to do this. I need you to do a case search on yourself. You, not nobody else. You. You look up each individual case. Make sure you get the serial number, which should be on the side of it, and make sure you get the date it was issued to you. the person that has his name on the bond. Now, when you do that, I want you to use the last 5 digits of the serial number and go back to the website, USTreasuryDirect.gov, put those last 5 digits of the serial number into the savings bond calculator. Then next to the savings bond calculator, it's going to say date issue. Take the date that's on the serial number you just typed in, which is connected to the bond that was issued to you. When you get done doing that, type in the month, 2 numbers for the month and 4 numbers for the year. Now, when you do that, you should get a number which tell you how much your bond is worth, the interest rate that's being collected on your bond, the issue price of the bond, and also the value of your bond. Mind you, most of these bonds might have little numbers on the side of them that might explain that they're not payable out and all the other stuff, and I will give you an example of them. If your serial bond has NI next to it, it means it's not issued. If your serial number bond has NE next to it, it means it's not payable. And if it has a P5 next to it, it means it includes 3 months interest penalty. And last but not least, if it says MA next to it, it means it's matured and not collecting any more interest. Now, after all said this, I bet you're wondering, man, well, all this is so-called true or whatever, how you cash the bond? That's another step. If your bond is not of maturity to the point where it's over $1,000, then you need to get this form right here. The form number is FS Form 1522. This is the form you need right here to get all those bonds cashed and sent to you. Mind you, I need everybody to do their own personal research for this. You don't have to believe nothing I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what I've learned over the course of time frames with my own personal research and studying myself. Now, pertaining to this form right here, this form is only for people whose bonds are not over $1,000. If your bond is over $1,000, you have to get your signature notified. Also, you do need to get this notarized. For further information on this, just go to Google. Simple. After you complete this form and you fill it out, you send it right back here to the FICO services. The address is in the form itself. You can send that off. If I was you, I would do a U.S. Express mail so you can get it back as fast as possible. Listen to the U.S. Treasury Direct, okay? It's a part of the U.S. Treasury Direct. When all the information is said is done, sit back and enjoy your money. I'll tell you, I ain't give you free game.
Has anybody ever turned over a voter's registration card and actually read the back of it? What does it say? You must be a resident of the United States. You know what United States they're talking about? You know what resident means? You know what domicile means? How it applies in opposition to resident? Resident of the United States, people, is someone who signed a Social Security agreement, gotten their driver's license, and then, by registering to vote, has pledged their property for the error of politicians. In other words, they place a lien on your physical person and all your property when you go down to register to vote. But then we've got to do our public duty. Now, I don't know how many of you knew that or not. But the bottom line again is accept any benefit, privilege, or opportunity, and you lose your rights, and then accept privileges. When you enter into your adhesion contracts, call it Social Security, which apparently Americans would rather have than the security of God's providence. You know, guys get all over my case because I don't have a driver's license. You say, John, suppose everybody runs around without a driver's license. I said, fine, they'd own property for a change. What do you mean? I own property. My car's paid for out there. I own that. I said, really? Well, bring your title over here. Let me look at it. I want to see somebody that really owns a car. So he brings his title over to me, you know. He brings this pretty little pink thing over, lays it there on the table and says, there it is. Bob, this is pink first. It's not a legal document. And I said, across the top of it, what does it say? Certificate of title. Certificate of title, Bob, is not the title. The title to your car when you first bought it new. You voluntarily gave up your title when the automobile dealer said, we'll be glad to, right here, just sign right here, and we'll take care of all the paperwork of registering your property with the state. Right there, just a little small B. And what you just did was you signed away title of your car to the state, which the state holds as surety for your compliance to the motor vehicle code. Isn't it nice? Huh? Isn't it lovely? And he said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I worked for 5 years to pay for that damn station wagon out there, and you're telling me I don't own it? Well, I'll tell you what. You got about half an hour. Go in here and sit down and read these court decisions and the statutes.
This was all masterfully planned and executed. During the Civil War, the Constitutional Republic abandoned Congress, which forced President Lincoln to issue martial law. At this time, the Republic was taken over by foreign insurgents who replaced it with the United States of America, Inc., in all caps, in 1871. A corporation that had the same name, the United States. What better way to replace it without anyone noticing that they just got turned into a business and commercialized? Now, this corporation was later purchased by the banking powers behind the Fed in 1912. The Fed was created in 1913. Why did this happen? Well, the US was bankrupt. When we sold the United States to foreign banking cartels, if you will, salvage liens were placed on every asset. Check this out, including the people of the new federalized states. Now let's fast forward to 1933. An income tax was placed on the people to pay these foreign bankers who own the IMF, which owns the IRS. Look into what the IRS actually is. Who is the IMF owned by? You got to follow the money. Who funds it? It's the same people that own the United States Inc. Same few families, and they're not American. So when I say foreign insurgents, that's what I mean. So 1933, USA Inc. goes bankrupt. An income tax is placed on its people. In other words, you and I were turned into property. Look it up. We were turned into cattle, and we were collateralized in order to turn us, humans, flesh and blood, into a means of paying off a massive debt. But the problem is that while you are technically a person, you've entered into contracts that you're completely unaware of, such as your birth certificate, social security number, etc., that are all saying, I consent to being collateralized. You're living as property, as opposed to living as a blood and flesh natural being. On paper, you are property. You are a corporation right now. You might be hearing this and thinking, we're fucked. We're property? Are you kidding me? And that's true. And property doesn't have rights. But here is both the blessing and the curse. There are multiple of you. Just like there's multiple United States of Americas. Sleight of hand, remember? What hat do they want to wear? There are multiple of you. The insane irony in all of this is the fact that they are actually now liable for all of your alleged obligations, aka debts. That's what a debt means. You can play a wrong move in chess and still win the game. And commerce is chess. Their greatest attempt to set us back actually is their greatest weakness. How can we owe debt if the United States is liable for all of its property? If we're its property, then it's the United States' burden to pay our debt. And that is exactly what the law says. I'm going to leave you guys with two different codes that I highly recommend you look into. First is going to be the House Joint Resolution Act 192. And when that occurred, the dollar was turned into what is called Federal Reserve debt notes. So if we're being asked to pay debts, but all we are given from the system is debt notes, aka fiat money, to pay back those debts, how can we pay a debt with a debt? I just want you to sit with that. They never gave you lawful money. They never gave you gold. They never gave you silver. The other side of it is looking into 18 USC 8, 18 United States Code 8. You're going to come to find out that that's literally telling you that the United States is liable for all debt. All of your debt, the United States is liable for it. How can you pay a debt with debt notes? Don't let that go over your head. They already got paid. Whoever's coming after you saying you owe a debt, whatever, they already got paid. Why would you be paying it twice? Common law, a completely different, higher level set of law that comes from God, the creator, is for a natural blood and flesh man. and yet you have been following legal law your entire life.
We're outside of Walmart. We're about to go in, and we're going to put Walmart and the pharmacists on notice and let them know that they're in violation of the Nuremberg Code. We're going to let them know that 45,000 people within 3 days of receiving the vaccine drop dead. And if they give one more vaccine after today, after being put on notice, then they can be hung up and they can be executed. So this stops. It stops here, guys. Let's go in. Let's go to the pharmacist here and let him know that he's in violation of the Nuremberg Code, and if he gives one more vaccine, he himself can be strung up. Oh, they're closing the door. Look at them close the doors. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. A little early to close. Wow. What are we closing the doors for? Oh my goodness.
Are they not even going to talk?
No, they're not going to talk.
Nope, they're gonna wussy out back in the back.
Oh my goodness.
That's,
You guys believe this?
Wow.
what are they afraid of?
They're going to close down the phone.
What are they afraid of?
Do what?
What are they afraid of?
No. They're afraid of being presented documents.
What's going on?
Well, what is it? No pharmacy on duty.
Are they? Did they stop? Maybe.
Pharmacy on duty.
I doubt that.
Dude, this is what just happened. This is what just happened at Walmart.
Highly
Oh my
doubt
gosh. They just shut down.
And what time is it? 6 o'clock? What time's the regular?
It's shut
What
down.
time's the regular hours?
I just got-
It's supposed to be open till
What
9.
time's your regular hours, ma'am? What's your regular hours?
It's right here. It's right posted right here in the wall.
What does it say?
9 to 9.
9 to 9. What happened to the pharmacist? They just left.
And here it says
She's a mute. She
closed from 1:30 to 2.
They don't want to be. They don't want to be served papers. They're going to close down. But guys, we can mail it. Again, we wanted to put them on public notice and let them know that what they're doing, and all you guys understand that too. You guys are being served. Because what they're doing here is they're violating the Nuremberg Code. And if you allow one more shot to go into one more person's body, you yourself can be executed. It's a violation of the Nuremberg Code. I do this out of love. I'm not trying to give you any fear and intimidation. I'm just letting you guys know that if you continue to do this, that you guys will be held accountable. Okay? She will be held accountable along with the pharmacist and everybody else in here. Look at them. Look at them all. Look at them. Look at them all hiding down. Look at this. They're all laughing about this. They think this is funny. They think it's funny. Wow. This is what happens when we come together and we show them the truth. 45,000 people have signed an affidavit in Alabama that 45,000 people within 3 days of taking the vaccine dropped dead. Y'all don't know that, do you? We're telling you guys that, and if you guys give another vaccine here at Walmart, you'll be in violation of the Nuremberg Code, and you guys can be held accountable. You guys can be executed, okay? And we don't want that to happen to any of you guys at all. We love you guys. We want to keep you safe. And we don't want that to happen here at Walmart. And all of Walmart now is being put on notice. The entire Walmart Corporation now has been served. They've been put on notice that they have to stand down. They have to quit giving this experimental vaccine. This is an experimental vaccine that has to stop, and it will stop. No package insert. Did y'all know that? The package insert is intentionally blank. Does that not concern you guys? You guys are giving things out that are intentionally blank that you have no idea what's in the vaccine. And you guys are just going to walk away? I mean, well, what are you walking away for? Well, what are you guys scared of? Why did the pharmacy close down? Can you explain to that to me? Why did it close down? What we want to do is see the package insert to make sure this vaccine is safe. See what the ingredients are. I mean, is there any problem with that? Or will we do anything wrong? We're here to get our vaccine. Okay. So we're going to wait till the police come here at Walmart, and the doors are closed because we came in peace, we came in love, we came to see the package insert and to let the pharmacist know that if he gives another vaccine, he's in violation of the Nuremberg Code, and it's very likely, probable, and possible that he can be executed for crimes against humanity. That's what's happening here, guys. This is crimes against humanity. We know for a sworn affidavit that 45,000 people within 3 days of taking the vaccine dropped dead. This is public knowledge. We've got that case over here, the preliminary injunction right now, that is in court in Alabama. And yet, because we came here to see the vaccine insert, this is what happened. They shut down Walmart. Please, no vaccines in the drive-thru. Now you are refusing me service, so you're going to discriminate me, yes or no? Can you answer? Don't be a mute. You take your mask and I can hear you through your mask. Just answer the question. Are you going to refuse me service, yes or no?
You don't have to.
Blink once for yes and twice for
Here's
no.
something. Okay, well today, we will leave. Are we being trespassed or no? Are we being trespassed today? So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll try to get our vaccine. What do I need to do to get my vaccine tomorrow? I'm just asking a question. You know, I mean, she doesn't have to answer, but I'm just asking you. You know, I want to come back tomorrow to get my vaccine. What do I do?
Not very customer service oriented, is she?
Wow!
I mean, the question was already answered.
Huh?
Marcus already answered the question.
Is she mute? She can't answer the question. I don't remember. I have a learning disability. I have ADHD. I'm dyslexic. Okay, I don't remember. So
Would you like?
I don't need you to answer. I'm asking her.
repeat it.
I don't need you to repeat it.
She
I need her.
doesn't need to answer it.
Why?
Because I can tell you just as easily as she can.
So look at it. Now we got 1 cop and 2 cop and 3. You guys, I hope you don't understand. You don't intimidate us, okay?
We're not trying to intimidate
okay, well, good. Then why do you need 3 of you? What do you need 3 of you for?
Well, I'm outnumbered by 1 to 8.
No, if I'd have been here by myself, you'd have had 3. Don't give me that crap. Now we got 4. Now we got 4. Look at this. Now we got 4. Okay. Okay, we'll leave. I appreciate it. Guys, we're not here to cause any problems. We're just here to get our vaccine. And these guys don't want to give it to us.
Do you remember how to get the vaccine?
No.
Marcus said to call him.
Marcus said to call and make a phone. Thanks.
So let's do that.
Yeah, we will. We appreciate that. Thank you, guys. So there we go. The officers finally stood down, and that was very nice of them. We appreciate that. And guys, again, this is the series.
That was wild.
First watch the video, then let me know how you feel in the comments. Wake up, America.
In this country of every state is 2 states. You have the state of Nevada and Nevada State. You have Cal State, California State, and State of California. Not the same thing at all. California State, according to the law, is one thing. State of California is totally different. Has nothing to do with each other at all. It's the difference between being a lawyer and an attorney. Has nothing to do with them at all. It's totally separate words, means totally separate things. Consequently, when you understand how words and terms are used and symbols are used, then we go back to the idea of the court. And as I said, there is no law in this country on any books that applies to you. None. All law in the Western civilization applies only to cooperations, co-ops. All law applies only to corporations, period. Across the board. No other, end of sentence. Consequently, there is no law that applies to you personally, so consequently, the system has made each one of you a corporation. And how now do you distinguish which one, when someone's addressing you, that they're addressing you as the one that your mother gave birth to, or the corporate you? Very simple. According to British law, when you sign your name, upper and lower case, that is applying to your body. Your flesh and blood self is spelled, according to British and American law, upper and lower case, capital letter, lowercase. That's you, your personal self. There is no law that can be applied to an upper and lowercase name, period. No law at all can be applied to an upper and lowercase name because there is no law over you. Therefore, every piece of important bills, insurance, driver's license, identification, taxes. I don't care what it is. If it's a piece of business, period, in any kind of way, shape, or form, your name must, by law, international maritime admiralty banking law, your name must appear in all capital letters. You will never get a bill or anything that has your name upper and lowercase, because there is no law that applies to an upper and lowercase name, period. So if Sears is going to send you a bill, if you go into Baskin Robbins or Sears and you order a pair of shoes, what are you going to do? They're going to give you a ticket, and you're going to put it on your bill, and then they're expecting you to pay the bill. And consequently, they're going to charge you. Well, that's the same thing. You go into a courtroom. They're going to read out the charges. And the cop gave you the ticket. And you have been charged with speeding or whatever. And therefore, you have to pay the charge. Well, once you understand that in America...
Get in here, get in here, get in here. You boy, y'all better get... Look, let me tell you something. You better get in here. Now, I've been searching the internet for war crimes. And who committed war crimes is the indigenous peoples of America. And you will not believe who committed war crimes against us. Now, as usual, I would like to start to the root of the problem. But before I start, if you'd like to donate, I greatly appreciate it. But Dr. Martin Luther King said clearly, not only did she give the land, she built land-grant colleges to teach them how to farm. Who Dr. Martin Luther King was talking about? Now, I gotta show you the overplay or the underplay of how UCLA worked with Congress to lock us up. Yeah, that's what they did, war crimes, right? But not only that, we own the land that every college sits on. Now, I'm hurt because I'm thinking I'm going to college. I'm thinking I'm doing good in college, and college been the whole problem the whole time. Now, we're going to start right here. UCLA involvement in the and as you can see, you can read down here, take your time. They the main ones who brung pain to our community. And as you can see, read for yourself. Just read it. I'm not even gonna read it. Just read it. So you can get a clear understanding yourself. Now, since you just read it, we're gonna go back and see how they work with Congress to lock us up in the 50-year war that they created. Bro, they created a war, bro, against us. And as you can see right here, they set the whole stage to put us in jail, which it clearly said 50 years into the war. On what? That they created. Biden and Harris can fix the harm it created. They created all our families going to jail. They created so we want to take the land back. But not only that, this was a second war crime against us. All historians agree that it was the wrong use of the term Africa for parts of Tunisia and northern Algeria. So how is Africa called Africa? No. Who did Rome hire to fool us? Oh, watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out, Rome hired to call us African American. Watch out now. It's your so-called pastors. It's your so-called civil rights leaders that call us African American. Wow. He ain't even care about his own kids. He ain't even care about his own family. But he honored foreigners. He honored foreigners. He was like, I pledge allegiance to foreigners, not my own child. Now, well, all along, they tell you in your face 3 things wrong with the term African American. And you need to screenshot this, man. Screenshot it. That we couldn't take back our land from all the colleges. I don't even know what to say. But if you like this information, go ahead and donate. I'm butthurt that our own peoples sold us out to foreigners.
And carry on about, how the United States is a corporation, not a country. Well, that's bullshit.
So first, who are you talking about in law? A person or a people? I know you don't get it, but that's what I'm here to educate you, because you are ignorant. You're not stupid. You're just lacking knowledge. But you can go to a local law library and have one of the clerks help you find these with the information I give and verify everything I say. In Ray Fox, 52 New York, 535. 751, oh, that's different, but it was supported in U.S. versus Fox, 94 U.S. 315. A sovereign is not a person in the legal sense. McDonald versus State, 90 Independent Reporter 320. It was decided one may be a citizen of a state and yet not be a citizen of the United States. There's a clear difference in law between a U.S. citizen and a state citizen. Bergen versus Forbes, 293 Kentucky 456, established that when a word is specifically designated as being included, like person, all other similar words are excluded. In Latin, it translates as inclusio unus est exclusio alteris. The inclusion of one is the exclusion of all others. The certain designation of one person is an absolute exclusion of all others. So when statutes talk about a person, that's only the corporate. What else do we got to support that, Tony? How about the Supreme Court? Caja versus United States. The laws of Congress in respect to those matters do not extend into the territorial limits of the state, but have force only in the District of Columbia and other places that are within the exclusive jurisdiction of the national government. Go read that one. And Cherokee Nation versus the state of Georgia, 30 U.S. 1. The U.S. Supreme Court stated that the term state and nation, let me give you that again, state and nation, are used in the law of nations as well as in common parlance as importing the same thing. So when you talk about the state of California, it's the nation of California. The state of Georgia, the nation of Georgia. So how do we have a nation inside a nation if your conclusions are correct that the United States is a nation? All the individual states are nations, and we are the united countries of America. Get it? U.S. versus Anthony, federal case, 24 Fed 829. The term resident and citizen of the United States is distinguished from a citizen of one of the several states in that the former is a special class of citizen created by Congress. You are a state citizen of the state you were born in, which makes you a citizen of all the states and a non-citizen national of the United States of America. Federal courts, pretty fucking solid. United States versus Hendler, 303 U.S. 564. Now this is dealing with when cops are acting a little bit funky. Really interesting case that no one's ever talked about. That's why you watch all 10 minutes of my videos. A property owner's right to exclude extends to private individuals as well as to government. The intruder who enters clothed in the robes of authority in broad daylight commits no less an invasion of property rights than if he sneaks in the night wearing a burglar's mask. So, again, U.S. Supreme Court saying a cop coming into your house, a cop trying to take you out of your car is no different than if they were wearing a burglar's mask, if they don't have the proper documentation, a warrant. U.S. versus United Mine Workers. Again, Supreme Court, I hate to burst your bubble like this, but you are ignorant, so you're getting taken to school. 330 U.S. 258. In common usage, the term person does not include the sovereign, and statutes employing it will ordinarily not be construed to do so. This is a form of diplomatic immunity. That's what they're talking about. While you are not excused from the consequences of any legitimate crimes which you may commit against real parties in which you cause legitimate damage to another man, woman, citizen, as a sovereign, you cannot be forced to comply with arbitrary administrative regulations imposed by Congress on federal citizens. Now, if you still don't think that there's a difference between person and people, this is my favorite case to wreck people's minds. U.S. versus Valentine. It was decided, and this is 288 F Supplemental 957. The only absolute and unqualified right of a United States citizen is to residence within the territorial boundaries of the United States. Meaning, as such, you have no right to free speech, you have no right to bear arms, you have no right to keep soldiers out of your house, you have no right to be seized with a warrant, only with a warrant. You have no right to remain silent. The only unqualified right is to live there and make money. Law's a different language, sir. It's time you learn to read. Wheeling Steel Corporation versus Fox. Again, the Supreme Court, who figured? 298 U.S. 193. The U.S. citizens of the District of Columbia, residing in one of the states of the Union, are classified as property and franchises of the federal government as an individual entity. So you have no rights as a U.S. citizen. There's a clear distinction between citizen and national, state national. Review the tape, dude. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.